Hi, it's Coach Kurt. So I had a request on my last striking for distance management video. 2 minutes and 55 seconds in, Coach Amanda was training with me, and she did a lead leg front kick, a teep, which caused me to bend forward and allowed her to circle in for an armbar style takedown. And there was a request, I believe a female security officer, she's 5'2", and she said she wanted to learn something like that. So we will talk about that. On the screen now, you're seeing this happen in LA. This is a lack of good control tactic skills or combatives or just martial arts skills in general. This officer is being attacked by this guy at a police precinct, and he is getting whooped on pretty good. And you can tell that this individual's angry and maybe on something, but his technique was crap. So how this happened is beyond me. You can see that he's disarmed the officer and he's beating him with his own pistol. He's pistol whipping him. The only saving grace is when he tried to shoot the officer. It's a Beretta 92 SF. I believe that's the model, and the gun had an external safety, and the guy obviously didn't know how to operate it and tried to pull the trigger, and nothing happened. So the officer got hit in the head pretty good several times, and other officers engaged, and it turned into a giant chase and the whole 9 yards. But I did a video on this. If you look in my video library, I got over 400 videos. Here's another incident where poor tactics got the officer in some trouble. The theme of this video is that clinch range and or just outside the clinch range. Like right here, he could have used long range kicks or something to keep the guy off. But the guy just kept working in on him, and he just didn't have an answer for it. He didn't have an answer for that aggressive forward attack. And again, distance management for strikes. This is the lead leg kick that we're going to be talking about, the one that Coach Amanda uses on me. In Muay Thai, they call it a teep. It's a lead leg front kick. I call it the jab of kicks. You can knock the wind out of somebody with this. You can go low to the knee. You can go to the diaphragm. Coach Amanda kicked me hard enough once where I peed myself a little bit with that kick, and that was with the stomach protector on. Here I am showing various kicks. I'm doing the roundhouse kick below, and up on the top picture or top screen, you see me using a low line side kick. All good answers to keep the person off and hypothetically get a forward motion out of them, get them to bend over at the waist. You've taken their kazushi, you've taken their balance by doing that. And you also see Holly Holm, I'm saying the best side kick in MMA, and I truly believe that. She is a world-class kickboxer, Muay Thai stylist, or I believe just straight-up kickboxing, before she went into MMA. I believe she was also a boxer, but that's neither here or there. But how you get there, as far as the style of kick you use, I hesitate to say, okay, throw technique A and then respond with takedown B. I want to use more of a generic concept based approaching it with this video. You see the screen up top. I blocked the incoming punch, and then I used a oblique kick on the knee to put the person down. Here's that technique we're talking about, front kick to the stomach, and then an arm bar, and then she circles around, and she's in a side control, and she ends up putting an Americana on me, and locking me, and then turning me over into handcuffing. That could have been a side kick. That could have been a roundhouse kick to my thigh. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. The front kick is amazing for this, but it would bend me over. It bends the attacker over. You're getting a physical response out of somebody when you hit them good with a front kick or a side kick. And here we are just practicing that clinch range where she's entering with strikes. See how aggressive she is. She's in, she does her damage, and she gets out. She is really good at this distance management. You manage the distance in a fight, and you manage the fight itself. You should be able to win the fight if you have good management of distance. She gets her damage in, and then she gets out. Again, she's small. She's 5'3", but she's super athletic. She's using that speed and athleticism and skill to her advantage. I get into the clinch, and she sprawls out, It's good takedown defense. Chuck Liddell was famous for that back in the day when he was the UFC champion. Everyone thought of him as a great striker. He obviously was a great striker, but he was also a really fabulous wrestler. And so he knew how to keep from being taken down by sprawling. Sprawling is super important. She went for the mount, she did her damage, and she got out. Why would you get out? Well, if you're in law enforcement, you have your back belt, you've got your taser, you've got your baton, you've got your pepper spray. Sometimes you don't want to stay in the fight. You want to do your damage and get out. That's what we're talking about here. And if you're in security, I don't know, the woman that asked me the question about the technique, I don't know what gear that she has. Every security person is different as far as their company and rules, regulations, what have you. Generally speaking, I think most security don't carry firearms, but a lot of them carry pepper spray or a baton. Even if it's just a radio, you can use that as a striking implement. But see how she moves. She moves. She keeps me guessing. She keeps moving. I have to follow her. She's making me go the direction she wants me to go by working the ring. She's cutting the ring. That's what boxers and kickboxers and Muay Thai styles do. They cut the ring. They work the ring. Make that person go where they want them to go to fight their style. Here I am using that lead leg is a grappling tool. I hook the back of the knee and pull them in, and I use it right there, and then I use it as a way to suck them in. I've used that successfully in sparring. I don't think I've ever done that on the street, but I've used it in live sparring before. It's a great tool. That lead leg isn't the most powerful tool you have, but it's closest weapon to the closest target. That's the concept. You hear that in Krav Maga. Closest weapon, closest target. And I'm using the roundhouse kick, the side kick, the lead front kick, all to diaphragm level targets and below. Specifically the thigh, the common peroneal area, the inside of the thigh, the outside of the thigh, the calf, the lower calf. You don't have to be excessively flexible to get these techniques in, but you have to practice them. And that will get you into the clinch range. Hence the reason you're watching it on the screen right now. This is me with Coach Colton. We're doing clinch sparring. It's basically dirty boxing and striking in the clinch range type sparring. We're purposely staying in the pocket, and we're working the clinch. That's there. You saw the front kick, and here we are, just regular clinch sparring. We're not striking in this round, but I'm able to pivot around, get my leverage, and take them down in a ankle pick. Okay, so what do you do once you've got them bent over, or you manage to do an arm pass or a duck under? You're getting to this position here. That's the 2-on-1 position. This is where a lot of your control tactics can take place successfully. Here's that arm pass or the arm drag into the Russian 2-on-1. What do you do when you get there? Well, it's several options. You've got armbar takedowns. You've got Sankyo techniques. You've got Kotegaeshi outward wrist throws. You've got the key locks. There's all these things you can do from there. You can take the back and you can do hip bump takedowns. If you're still in the front, like you kick them in the stomach and they bend over, you can do a snap down. You're going to see all those options in this video. Here's an example of your classic armbar takedown, your classic old school martial arts concept. This is an entering throw, like you've got them in the 2-on-1, but they curl their hand in, so you use the entering throw. Here's another armbar. This is a modern Russian 2-on-1 style of armbar takedown. This is actually my favorite armbar takedown because it's I think more effective overall. Here's the snap down I was talking about. So you get kicked. You kick the person in the stomach, and they're leaning forward. You grab their jacket, and you snap them down. Super effective takedown, guys. The snap down is great. Well, in the clinch, you can also do your hip throws and so forth, your leg sweeps. Here's me using a leg sweep. The sky is the limit based on your skill set. You have to train this stuff. For me to say you throw the front kick and you use this technique, that's all fine and dandy, but it's not going to be realistic unless you have it in your arsenal. You have to go to a martial arts gym, MMA school, that practices this style of technique where you're in the clinch range and you practice the throws, you practice the takedowns. When I ask my jiu-jitsu coach, what can I do from here? And he says, keep coming to the gym and keep training. That's what you can do from here. What he's telling me is there isn't a perfect answer every time. You develop the answer from years of training, sweat and blood. That's when you instinctively see what you can do in the melee of the fight without necessarily knowing ahead of time what you can do. You see the opening, you take it. You didn't know you were going to go there. What do you do once you get them down? Well, here's me using what I call positional control, position before submission on the ground. I'm just working against a resistive partner. We're not going balls out, but he's a resisting opponent. It's not choreographed. He's giving me energy, and I have to answer that energy. I'm more worried about position before submission. In this case, I end up getting him in on his stomach, and I'm going for handcuffing. In control tactics, in my case, Taiho Jitsu, which is a martial art specifically designed for arresting and controlling, it's always at the end of your action is generally a handcuffing technique. If you're a civilian, or then you might be running away. Police, security, military, you're probably going to detain using handcuffs. Here we are working in the clinch range again. And what do? Here's a knee bump to take him down. He's resisting it, so then I go and switch to the forward sweep. Again, he didn't respond to the knee bump. His balance was good enough, so I switched it up on him. He was resisting to the rear, so I switched to the front. I used a leg sweep from the front. I worked side control for a little bit until I had good position, and then I went to mount. All right, guys, like, subscribe, and share, and let me know what you think. Keep your suggestions coming.
Drop the knife, Pendleton! Get mine, Romano. You're gonna have to kill me to take me.
I'm not gonna kill you, animal. There's only one way to keep your kind of scum off the streets. It's a public trial.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.